Warm welcome. This is Markus Termin, Astrologisches Stundenbuch, Astrological Book of the Hours. It's the 27th of March 2024. Let's have a look at the chart. The moon changed the position from Libra to Scorpio, and we still have the sun in Aries, and there's a big stellium in the sign of Pisces, Pluto of course in Aquarius, and Chiron, the north node, Mercury and Aries sun up there. Still the reception in between Venus and Jupiter. This is the general situation. Let's have a look at the charts of what happened yesterday with the so-called Francis Scott Key Bridge, which is a key and an important bridge, I think. And now imagine that the world's looking towards Crimea and waiting for German pseudo-legal or non-illegal Taurus missiles to break that bridge down. And what happens? An important bridge in America breaks down, and it's obviously by chance, by accident. What is it? Now, if we have a look at the bridge astrologically, it's absolutely interesting. First of all, Robert Francis Key is an important guy. He was pro-slavery though, so he's not 100% at the good side, but it was enough to name two bridges after him. One atomic boat, missile throwing thing and things like that. And if we look at the bridge and the boat itself was named after Salvador Dali. That's why they name it Dali. And the boat that hit the bridge. And now look at that chart. You see, in the inner circle, you will find the bridge. And in the outer circle, there is the how do you call that in English? Schiffstaufe, when the ship is baptized, kind of Christianized, they call it. This is the outer circle of what is showing that. And as you can see, Uranus, who's there for absolute sudden hits, is opposing in 100%, 180-degree opposition the Pluto of the bridge, as you can see, and at the same time it's a square position to Pluto from the ship to the Pluto of the bridge. So this is, see that, this is all 100% angles, But not only that, there's more to come. If you look at the chart of the name giver, Scott Francis Key, who was a poetical nature. He wrote the US and them, that goes to show us what moon in Pisces is able to do, How does this show in his chart? Well, there's a straight opposition, also almost 100%, of Neptune from the sign of Pisces, and we are in waterways, aren't we? Opposing his Neptune-Jupiter conjunction in Virgo. And remember that this endem was written on board of a boat, watching the American flag, still holding the position at a fort up in the hill when it was offended by His Majesty's Army's cannons, back in those old times. So this is a seaside symbol for a sea-ruling nation or two sea-ruling nations. Okay, we have this opposition, Neptune, Inner chart is the chart of this Leo pro-slavery guy, Scott, and the outer chart is the bridge. But that was not even all. If you look at this chart, and that's now what most astrologers look at first, in the inner chart you see the date when the bridge was completed. And it had a Mars in Pisces. You see that? And the very, very position of Mars in Pisces now is just the same position. And it's not only that, you can find a lot of things in these charts. Now, what goes to show that? What am I showing that for? First of all, it's to see that there's magic behind astrology, obviously. This is astrological magic. And then we see something is happening in time and kind of has prepared in time as a potential. There are a lot of philosophical questions that pop up because of that. And if you look at the footages of the boat that hits the bridge, one gets the impression that has been by purpose. Somebody has been hitting this bridge by purpose. So as we're waiting for the Crimea bridge to be hit, what happens? Exactly the opposite. A bridge in America is to be torn down. And if you look at the pictures, you can get the feeling that hasn't been by chance. There's a big blowout of carbon dioxide emissions of the Singapore boat, finished in 2015, a new boat, or pretty new boat, when it does kind of the last turnaround to hit the bridge, So in my point of view, this is the direct answer of the services behind things like the recent attack on Moscow, music theaters. This is the game we're actually in. Those are secret services fighting against each other on the chessboard and doing one step and another, and they say, okay, you give us that, we'll give you that, we'll touch your infrastructure if you even dare to touch ours. This is the game, in my sense, that is going on and that we are witnessing, and we're not being told the truth. Nobody tells us, well, they kind of sank your Crocus Hall, and now we're going to respond that in another way. It's not even advertised. There's no one officially saying this is an answer to what is happening, but I'm pretty sure the ones behind the scenes know. Coming back to the daily chart, and of course you can re-watch this video and go back to the charts of the ship and the bridge and everything like that. Coming back to the daily chart, what is the private energy that we have to deal with today? It's not very different. The moon changed from the sign of Libra to Scorpio. It's the after full moon energy, so the energy is declining a little bit. But Scorpio and Aries, the sun and the moon, don't work together very well. This is vice versa. This is the other way around too. If you have a Scorpio sun with an Aries moon, it's a difficult combination. Aries and Scorpio is both ruled by Mars, though. Scorpio is a water sign, Aries is a fire sign, but, they do not come clear very well together. That's the situation. And so that's also the situation in the sky. It's a non-comfortable situation. But as I said, the overall aspect for us in the private use is still Venus and Jupiter in reception, which is basically good. And we can hope that all the three-letter institutions worldwide, will someday, hopefully soon, be part of history. Thank you very much. This is Markus Termin, Astrologisches Stundenbuch. Just in case you want some astrological wisdom to have it compared with your own chart, use this mail address to send me a message And down here at my blog site, you'll find the conditions for a consultation. It's not that expensive, and I'll be happy to get in touch with you. Markus Termin, the 27th of March 2024.